All right. So thank you for participating in the Astronomy 101 workshop. I am Siddharth Mishra. I am currently in grade 12th at Bal Bharati Public School, New Delhi. This workshop is divided into 5 sessions. In the first 2 sessions, we'll build a base in astronomy. We'll study about our solar system and we'll study about what different phenomena govern the universe. In the third session, we'll discover black holes and explore one of the most intriguing phenomena in the universe. Black holes are really destructive, and it would be a really interesting session from the third one. In the fourth session, we'll just do a basic recap of all the work of the whole workshop, and we'll study some crazy facts about the universe that will definitely blow your mind. And in the fifth session, we'll have a small, fun quiz-like session, and we'll see who wins. All right. So this was a basic introduction of our workshop. In this workshop, we'll answer questions like what lies in our solar system, what lies beyond our solar system, what are nebulae, stars, black holes, galaxies, and how is it possible to time travel through a black hole? Is there an asteroid that could make you so rich that you could buy the Earth hundreds of times? How is a star completely made up of diamond? And I'm sure you all have heard of Thor. And how
So
can we
your
solve?
voice is disconnecting.
Uh, just a second. Is it clear now?
Sir, your voice is cracking.
Sir, your voice is cracking.
Just a second. Give me a minute. I'll be back.
Sir, your screen is clear, but sir, we can't hear you properly. Yeah, I have to respond.
Am I audible right now? Hello? Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me know if the voice.
Sir, can you just speak little bit louder?
Okay. I'll speak on. I was telling you all that what all questions we'll find answers to in this workshop. What lies in our solar system? How many planets we have? What are the special characteristics of each planet? And what lies beyond our solar system? The stars, the galaxies, or the whole universe? What are nebulae? What are black holes? What are other different objects in space? How is it possible to time travel through astronomy? And is there an asteroid that could make you so rich that you could buy the whole Earth, everything on Earth, hundreds of times? And is there a star that is completely made up of diamond? And how can we solve the mystery of Thor's hammer? So I think you would have heard of Thor, the Avengers hero. So how can we solve the mystery of its magical hammer? So this is all that we'll cover in the workshop, and I'll start right now. Just a second. Just a second. Just confirm once if the screen and the video and audio is all clear. It's clear. All right. Thank you. So yeah, our topic for this session is our solar system. So our solar system is the place that we live in. It consists of all the planets, comets, asteroids, various celestial objects that we discuss right now. Uh, at the center of our solar system is the sun, which we all see every day. So what are celestial objects? Celestial objects are the stars, planets, moon, and any object that we see in the sky are called as celestial objects. We will discuss about celestial objects like planets and stars in detail, but let's look at a few smaller ones before. Right. So asteroids are celestial objects that are large pieces of rocks present in space. So when the space was initially formed, there was a lot of dust and matter. Right. So all the dust and matter collided to form big rocks. If the rocks got big enough, so they formed planets. But if the rocks were small enough, they couldn't form planets, and they just lie out there in space. So those lying out there in space rocks are called as asteroids. Meteors are called these asteroids then enter the atmosphere of the earth. So atmosphere is like a blanket of air that is covering the earth. uh, it contains all the air that we breathe in, the oxygen that keeps us alive. So when an asteroid enters the atmosphere of the earth, it is called as a meteor, because it's given a special name that because it has entered the atmosphere of the earth, it's called as a meteor. But usually the meteors blow, matlab, they catch fire in the atmosphere and they just disintegrate. So we don't have falling rocks on us all the time. So those are called as meteors. But sometimes an asteroid can be larger enough so that it cannot like burn in the atmosphere, right? So if the asteroid is large enough, it's called as a meteorite. If it reaches the surface of the earth, it is called as a meteorite. Comets are different celestial objects. Comets are celestial objects which revolve around the sun in a long revolution. Right. So I will try to explain all these celestial objects through a visual diagram in the next few minutes. But first, let us just describe them in a short way. So comets are celestial objects which revolve around the sun in long tails. Right. So they have a head and they have a huge tail that is behind them, and they revolve around the sun like planets. But the path in which they revolve around the sun is really elliptical, not circular. So, and satellites are of two types: man-made satellites and natural satellites. Man-made satellites are those which we send up in space due to for weather satellites, the TV satellites, internet satellites by which we are communicating right now. And a natural satellite is the moon, which we see at night. So the moon is called as a natural satellite.
Sir,
Yeah. Just a second.
hello, sir.
Hello. Yeah.
Sir, we also use satellites for wars between India versus Pakistan and etc. etc. So
Yeah.
even they help.
Yeah, satellites are of different type. They can be weather satellites, TV satellites, internet satellites, as you said, war satellites. So there are many types of satellites, but we're not interested in them right now. We're just describing what are satellites. Okay.
Okay, I mean,
All right. So I wanted to explain what are asteroids. So if you see this picture, this ball of rock is headed towards the Earth. So it will enter the Earth's atmosphere, and then it will be called as a meteor. When it's just stationary and lying in space, lying around in space and not near Earth, we call it an asteroid. But when it comes near the Earth and starts to fall towards us and enters our atmosphere, uh, Arnav, could you please mute your mic?
no, sir. I wanted to say that uh, why dinosaurs are not there because just because of the asteroids and the space stations in the solar system. They have the laser beam which destroys the asteroids and so that it doesn't fall on the earth.
Yeah. That is what I'm saying. That those are called as meteors. Asteroids are just flying in space, so those are called as meteors. When they enter the Earth's atmosphere, they're called as meteors. But if the asteroid is large enough, if the meteor is large enough, it doesn't burn in space. So as you can see, the rock in space is starting to burn. If you, I'll enlarge the photo for you. Yeah, in this picture, you can see the front of the rock is starting to burn. This is because of the atmosphere. It applies friction. You'll study it in higher classes. So those asteroids start to burn. When they start to burn, they get completely burned before reaching the Earth. They're called as just meteors. We see them as shooting stars. But if the meteor is large enough, and it reaches the surface of the earth, say that it started as a huge rock, say a 10 meters huge rock, and when it got burned through the earth, it was shrink to just the size of a small rock. So that small rock reaches us and it is called as a meteorite. Comets are different. Comets are yeah, this is a photo of a comet. Comets are like huge balls of fire in space. They're just rocks moving at a very high speed. So as you can see in the upper photo, the comet has a huge tail behind it, and it is
Sir,
moving.
uh, why they come like a fire? Because when they move in a large amount of speed, then they catch fire, and that is why they have fire.
No, that's not because of their speed. I said that you'll study it in higher classes. That fire is due to friction. Friction is a force that causes heat dissipation. So heat is evolved when they rub against the air in the atmosphere. So heat is evolved and then they catch fire. That's because of friction, not due to their speed. That's that speed helps in friction because as they're moving at a high speed, they have a high force of friction acting on them. That's why they catch fire. Right, so I was on comets. Yeah. So comets are huge balls of huge rocks that are moving in space at a very high speed. They have a huge tail, if you can see it. Like I'll try to annotate just a second. Yeah. So they have this huge tail, if you can see. In this photo, it's not a very huge tail, but you can see it stretches to many kilometers. So that tail is what we can see in the sky sometimes. If you would have heard of Halley's comet that comes in 1 in 76 years, I think. So those are comets that we see in the sky, right? So after that, let's move on to our next category of, just a second. Yeah, let's move on to the next category of celestial objects. So these are planets. Most of you would know what are planets. So planets are huge rocks like Earth that we live in, or some planets are made up of gases. We'll discuss about each planet in the coming few minutes. I just wanted to show this brief diagram of the solar system. So this is our solar system. If you see that in the middle is our sun, the huge one. After that, next comes Mercury, which is the first planet and the nearest to our sun. After Mercury, we have Venus. Venus is the second nearest planet to the sun. After Venus, we have us, the Earth. We are at the third position from the sun. After Earth, we have Mars. After Mars, we have Jupiter. But between Jupiter, if you'd see in this diagram, I'll try to show you. Yeah, between Jupiter and Mars, you can see this belt of asteroids, just small rocks lying out there in space. So this belt is called as asteroid belt. So after Mars and before Jupiter, we have a large belt of asteroids containing of many hundreds of thousands of asteroids. So that is called as the asteroid belt. Uh, After the asteroid belt, we have Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system. After Jupiter, we have Saturn. After Saturn, we have Uranus. And after Uranus, we have Neptune, the last planet in our list. After Neptune, there's Pluto, a dwarf planet. Pluto was a planet until 2000. Arnav, could you please mute your mic? Pluto was a planet till 2004, I think, and after that it was demoted to a dwarf planet because it did not match the size requirements for a planet. So it was really small to be called a planet. So they gave it a new term called as a dwarf planet. In this photo, you could also see some depictions of a comet. So if I try to highlight the comet, yeah, this is a comet, if you can see. So a comet has no well-defined path, it's just heading nowhere, and it has a huge tail behind it. So it's on fire and it has a huge tail behind it. So that's a comet in our solar system. So uh, you don't have to worry. I'll share these notes with you after the session. I'll share it with Megha Didi and she'll share it with you. There's also a link to NCERT textbook. I'm sure you must all have the NCERT textbook, but I'll share a link as well. It contains all the details about all the planets that I have written here and some more, I think. So let's start with the planets. The first planet is Mercury. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun and the smallest planet in our solar system. All right, so it is closest to the sun. It's really hot, and it's the smallest planet in our solar system. Mercury has no natural satellite. So like we on Earth have Moon as a natural satellite, but Mercury is really small, so it doesn't have any natural satellite attached to it. It's alone in near and very near the sun, very near to the sun. It's very difficult to observe Mercury as it is mostly hidden under the sun's brightness.
So if you try to see the sun from here, so we see the sun, there's no problem in seeing the sun. It's really huge and really bright. It powers all the earth, and it spews a lot of amount of light, which we all can see right now. All right. So, but the difficult part to observe Mercury is that it is very close to the sun. So imagine that you are looking at a very, very bright bulb, and there's a really small dot between the bulb and your eyes. So it would be very difficult to stare directly into the dot because there would be a huge amount of light coming from the bulb. So in this scenario, the bulb is the sun. So there's a lot of light coming from the sun. So it is very difficult to observe Mercury. Mercury is majorly observed at night when the sun is not there. So we can observe Mercury at night at some parts of the year, but mostly it is really hidden under the brightness of the sun. I'll stop right here just for a second to look for any questions. If anybody has any doubt, they can unmute and speak. Harman, Prapti, Arnav, if you have any doubt, you can just let me know.
Sir, I had no doubt.
Okay, all right. You can mute yourself. All right. So I think everybody is clear. If you want me to repeat any other part, you can just let me know. I'll repeat it in Hindi also if anybody has problem understanding.
Sir,
Yeah.
but I want to ask you a question. Means
Yeah.
the first rocket was taken to the means while launching the first rocket, on which vehicle was it took on?
Which rocket? Which country are you talking about? India, other countries?
Sir, India.
It was taken on a cycle, I think, by our late president Shri Abdul Kalam. It was taken on a cycle and it was launched from somewhere in South India. I don't remember the exact place, but it was assembled, its parts taken through a cycle.
Yes, sir, on a bicycle.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. So next in line is Venus. Venus is the second closest planet to the sun. It has no natural satellite of its own, but it is almost as large as the Earth. So if you try to compare the size of Earth and Venus, Venus and Earth are almost the same size, and but Venus does not have any other natural satellites of its own. So Venus is also called as the evening star, and it is the hottest planet in our solar system.
And sir, means like when you see it from the means if you go in a rocket and see Venus, it looks like it is like lava on it.
Yeah, hot clouds of sulfuric acid. That's not lava. You'll study it in higher classes. It's an acid that is in its atmosphere. So like our atmosphere has oxygen and other gases, it has sulfuric acid. So it looks yellow in color. After Venus, we have Earth. Earth is the only known planet to support life, and it is the largest planet among the first four planets. The first four planets are also called as the inner planets because they're made up of rocks. So we'll study that the next four planets are gas giants. They're made up of gas only. Like we on Earth are standing on a rocky surface. The ground which we stand on is made up of rocks. So that is why Earth and the first four planets are called as rocky planets or inner planets. After Earth, we have Mars, last of the inner planets. So Mars is the second smallest planet. Mars is also called as the red planet, and Mars has two moons named Phobos and Deimos. Like the Earth has one moon, and we have named it Moon. So Mars has two natural satellites, which is called as Phobos and Deimos. After Mars, there was an asteroid belt, which we'll discuss further. But first, we'll discuss about all the planets.
Sir, in Mars, aliens live.
No aliens live on Mars. It's not scientifically proven yet. So we're on Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. It's really, really huge. And many Earths can fit inside one Jupiter. So Jupiter has 79 moons. So if you're on Earth and you see...
And 1500 Earths.
Okay. Arnav, kindly unmute yourself. It really disturbs the flow of the webinar. Kindly unmute yourself after when I asked for the doubts, please. All right. So Jupiter has 79 moons, and It's the fifth in number from the sun. It's Jupiter is the first planet of the gas giants, as I mentioned before. Jupiter is completely made up of gas, and those four planets after the Mars, called as Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, are called as outer planets or gas giants. After Jupiter, we have the second biggest planet in our solar system called as Saturn. Saturn is the Saturn has more number of moons than Jupiter, mainly 82 moons. So Jupiter has 79 moons, but Saturn has even more, 82 moons. So if you're on Earth, you see one moon at night. So if you would be on Saturn, you can see 82 moons at night. So it would be a really interesting view. After Saturn, we have Uranus. Uranus is the second last planet in our solar system, and it is 4 times larger than the Earth. The fun thing about Uranus is that it is tilted. Like the Earth is standing straight and it is rotating about its axis. So Uranus is something like tilt. So if this is Earth and it's rotating like this, Uranus is something like this. It's rotating like 90 degrees clockwise. So it's really interesting fact that Uranus rotates about different axis. So the Earth rotates like this, but Uranus rotates about like this axis. So if you're there, मतलब चक्कर आ सकते हैं आपको. Neptune is the last planet and the coldest planet in our solar system. So it is mainly composed of gas and it is blue in color. We'll discuss about Pluto as well. Pluto is not a planet, but it was termed as a dwarf planet. It was too small to be a planet, but in the early years it was considered as a planet. So till 2004 we had 9 planets, but after 2004 they decided to demote Pluto to a dwarf planet. We missed asteroid belt in between. So between Mars and Jupiter we have asteroid belt. The asteroid belt is a large cluster of asteroids that orbits the sun between the empty space between Mars and Jupiter. So as we saw in this picture of the solar system, after Mars and before Jupiter, there was large empty space that was consisting of all the asteroids in our solar system, most of the asteroids in our solar system. Alright, so that was the asteroid belt. Yeah, something interesting in between. So the asteroid belt has one asteroid named as 16 Psyche. So 16 Psyche isn't your typical space rock. So 16 Psyche is one of the asteroids in the belt between Mars and Jupiter, as we mentioned. But what makes it special is that 16 Psyche is worth around 700 quintillion. Right, so it's 7 and 20 zeros after it of money. So if you try writing the number down on the paper, you write 7 and you write 20 zeros after it. That much money is worth of the asteroid. It's mainly made up of gold and iron. So if you try selling it on Earth, you'll make 7 and 20 zeros after it of money. That's so much money that you can buy the entire Earth, the whole planet, hundreds of times. That's so much money. So NASA is planning a mission to visit 16 Psyche. They're obviously not interested in the money. They just want to research about the asteroid and how it can help us. But if I would to go on 16 Psyche, I would definitely go there for the money. So this was about solar system. After this, we'll discuss a few sample questions and how questions can come in the quiz and some interesting questions to challenge the mind. So name the hottest planet, if anybody would like to. We discussed the hottest planet in our list.
So almost like you would go on the 16 Psyche and dig until you find gold.
Could you please repeat?
Means you'll go on 16 Psyche and dig and find gold.
It's not easy to go on an asteroid. You have to plan. We haven't gotten as far as Mars as yet, but because we've just reached the moon with men on a rocket, so a human spacecraft hasn't even reached Mars. An asteroid belt is really, really far away. So it is very difficult to plan a manned mission to asteroid, and it would be really difficult to carry a very large asteroid back to Earth. So imagine carrying 21 kilometers of rock back to the Earth. It's really difficult to pull that kind of. We don't have that big spaceships and power. So try to imagine 21 kilometers and how you can pull that much amount of rock. All right. So we were discussing questions. Anybody would like to name the hottest planet? We discussed that when we were discussing planets.
Yeah, Venus.
Yeah, Venus is the hottest planet. Which planet has the most number of moons?
Saturn.
Yeah, Name the 4 inner planets in correct order. Arnav, please mute yourself. Harman, I would like you to answer this question. Name the first 4 planets.
Sir, Mercury,
Yes, very good.
Venus, Earth,
Very good.
and Mars.
Yeah, that's very good. That's the correct answer. If the meteor reaches, no problem. If the meteor reaches the Earth's surface, what do we call it? So we discussed it in detail while discussing meteors and meteoroids. When a meteor reaches the surface of the Earth, what do we call that? Like it's called as an asteroid, it's called as a meteor only, or it is called as a meteorite. What is it? What is it called?
Meteorite.
Yeah, it's called as a meteorite. Name the planet that can float on water. So we didn't discuss this matlab, while we were discussing planets. So I'll try to discuss it here.
Sir, is it Saturn?
Yeah, the answer is Saturn, but I'll try to explain how. So Saturn is a very matlab,
Sir, because Saturn has a belt which makes it float. Like how we keep like the floating thing.
no, that's not the answer. Saturn is a really huge planet, so you would expect it to matlab, like sink in water. If we put a small rock in water, it just sinks to the bottom. But the fun part about Saturn is that if you find a tank big enough to put Saturn in it, it would float on water. That's because Saturn has a very low density. So you'll study in the coming classes if you haven't studied density as yet. So Saturn has a very low density. Like if you try to keep a piece of wood, hollow wood in water, it floats on water, even if the wood is really matlab, huge. So the wood floats on water like a boat or a raft. So that wood floats on water. So that's the case with Saturn. Saturn has a very low density. So if you try to put it in a tank big enough, it would float on water. It would not sink in like the other planets. So that's the question. So we have a few more questions. How many moons does Mercury have? It's kind of a trick question, easy one. How many moons does Mercury have? It won't be a problem if you can't say the right answer. That's not the problem. Harman, would you like to try? It's no problem if you don't know the answer. I'm here to tell you.
So, no, sir, I don't know the correct answer.
That's not a problem. So this was a trick
Sir, what
question.
is the question? I got disconnected.
How many moons does Mercury have? It's written on the screen.
Mercury. Done.
So the correct answer is no moons. Mercury doesn't have any moons, as we discussed. We discussed that it is really small to hold a moon. So Mercury is really
Yes,
small,
sir.
and it does not have any moon. So it was a trick question. Now the last question is just a basic one to give a recap of the session. Write the correct order of all planets in our solar system. So
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and it was also known as a planet at 2004, which was Pluto. Now it's known as the dwarf planet.
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. Thank you, Arnav. So these are a few trick questions for you. I'll try to hide the answers first. So what do you think is the age of the universe? So these are just questions for having fun. So what do you think is the age of the universe? So like we all have an age. I am 17 years old. You might be some 10 years, 12 years old. Or these are your ages. So what do you think is the age of the universe? These are just random guesses. I don't think you'd know the answer to this question. I'd just like you to guess. What do you think that can be the age of the universe? Just say any random number. Harman, would you like to try any random number? What do you think the age of the universe is? 1 crore years, 2 crore years?
13 crore.
13 crore. Okay, we'll see if it is correct. Arnav, would you like to try to answer? What's the age of the universe? Arnav, would you like to try?
Sir, 13 billion trillion years old.
We'll see if it is correct. Trinab, if you're here in the meeting, could you please also start your video? It would be really fun and interactive. Hello, Trinab. Just a second. So, yeah. So, Trinab, would you like to guess the age of the universe?
I don't know.
Actually, there's a lot of disturbance. We couldn't hear what you were saying. If possible, could you write in the chat box? What's your answer? What do you think can be the age of the universe?
Sir, he said that he doesn't know.
Oh, all right, all right. It's not about knowing. We're just guessing here. I don't expect any of you to know the age of the universe. It's just a basic fact. I just want you to guess. What do you think can be the age of the universe? So that when you know the answer, it surprises you. Guess any random number that comes to your mind. That can be the possible age of the universe. Uh, Actually, there's a lot of disturbance from your side. Please write in the chat box if possible. All right, 1 lakh years. So the correct answer is 13.8 billion years. So if you try to convert 14 billion years approximately, if you try to convert it into like yeah, crores, so it would be around 14 billion. 10 crore, 10 million is 1 crore. So 1 billion should be 100 crores. So 1400 crore years. So Harman guessed 1 crore years. Trinab guessed 1 lakh years. So it would be around 1400 crore years. So you can imagine
Sir,
how.
but I said 13 billion trillion years.
That's not the age of the universe,
Sir,
Arnav.
I said 13 crore.
You had the right number, but you had the wrong unit. So you said 13 crore. It's about 1400 crores. Like
Yes, sir.
1,400 crores. So you can imagine how huge that number is. Arnav, you said a very, very huge number. That's a possible age that a universe might live, but it's not the age of the universe right now. Right. So after
Okay,
that,
sir.
the next question is, what do you think? How big the universe is? Do you think it is finite? Do you think it is infinitely long? Do you think it is 2 light years, 100 light years, 1 million light years? How huge do you think the universe is? Any random answers?
Sir, means like it's not at all measurable.
Okay, that you mean that it's infinite.
Yes.
All right, Harman, what do you think?
Sir, infinite, I also say.
All right, so there's no correct answer to this question, but according to the scientists, the observable universe, so the universe which we can see is 92 billion light years. So we'll discuss in the next session what a light year is. A light year is a really, really large number. So it is a 93 billion light years. So there's a possibility that the universe might be not infinite, but really, really huge, that you can term it infinite. So there are two parts of the universe. One is the observable universe, the parts of the universe where whose light can reach our eyes. All right, but there are parts of the universe that are non-observable. हम उन्हें देख नहीं सकते. There are some parts जिनको हम देख सकते हैं, जिनकी लाइट हमारे तक पहुंच जाती है. कुछ parts ऐसे हैं जिनकी लाइट हमारे पास अभी तक पहुंची ही नहीं है, वो बहुत दूर है हमसे. So those are called as that part is called as the non-observable universe. This is a really there is no correct answer to this question, but how do you think the universe might end? There is no correct answer to this question. I just want you all to guess. How do you think the universe could end? So,
Sir, because nobody can measure the universe and it's not a we can't even tell the word for it.
no, I am asking how will the universe end? Die? How will the universe die?
when the black hole comes and eat it.
Now, black holes aren't that powerful. I will discuss black holes in the next.
Then if it eats more and more, then it will become more big. And then if it's enough to eat our galaxy, then it might.
Then it would be enough to eat your galaxy, Arnav. Galaxy is not the universe. The universe has trillions of galaxies. It has matlab, lakhs of crores of galaxies. We are just part of one galaxy. So the universe has trillions, 1 lakhs of crores of galaxies. So I don't think
We
a
are
black.
in the Milky Way galaxy.
Yes. So there's no correct answer to this question how the universe will end, but there are theories. So there's a theory that the universe is right now expanding. We'll discuss in the next question what is expanding and how the universe is expanding. So that theory states that the universe
Means
is.
its date is getting over.
What are you saying?
Like how when we buy things in the supermarket, its dates get over like that.
No,
The
no, no, no,
universe
no.
is getting
No,
over.
no. The universe is expanding. उसका मतलब है कि the universe is growing. So the universe is expanding. So let's say at a particular time the universe is this big. So it is growing at every time. So it's expanding, expanding, and expanding. So that is what is meant by expansion. So there's a theory that the universe is right now expanding, but after some time it might start to collapse. So it's right now expanding like this, and after some billions of years, it starts to collapse back again, and then it is back to a point. We'll discuss it in the next question when I discuss the Big Bang Theory and how the universe started. So we already discussed this question, how many galaxies are there in the universe? The answer is 2 trillion galaxies. So you can see a 2 trillion is a really huge number. It is written here. I have tried to highlight the number. So 2 trillion is a really huge number. You can see how many zeros are there. So that many galaxies are there. So it's an interesting thought. We are one person. So you are a person, I am a person, and we are on a planet of 700 crore people. 700 crore people. We are one of those 700 crore people, and our planet is one of the 9 planets in our solar system. That solar system has a star called as the sun. So the sun is just one star of so many crores of stars in just our galaxy, and every galaxy has so many crores of stars. So you can see how vast the universe is. Harman, if you can note that down, it's really great. But if you are not able to note it down, I'll provide you this PDF. So that PDF will reach. Yeah, everything that I have written here will reach you. All the questions and the answers and all the things about the solar system that will reach you. So with this, we come to an end for this session. I hope you all like the session, and will please join in for the next session, where we'll discuss about the universe and many other phenomena that govern it. We'll discuss about stars, how stars are born, how stars die, what is there in the universe. So that would be the topic for our next session. So thank you all for joining, and I hope you had a great time.